This is a little follow-up video on how this press with the auto ejector actually works. You'll see right here with this is the shell retainer wire. Okay, I wanted to make mine eject on the other side, so what I did was I took it out, and then there's a small hole right here that you need to drill to flip that wire over, and that'll hold this shell retainer in. You can see that the shell retainer is pointed this way, so my brass goes down the ramp. It works a lot like this. Let me hold the camera over here. You'll see I can run this up. Goes into the die. When it comes down, that's what happens. But here, let's set it up so it'll actually eject. We'll pull the ejector arm forward, run it down, and it goes down and out. Let's take a little bit of a look at the ejector itself. You can see right here, this is nothing more than a piece of strapping, like what they strap crates down with, because that's spring steel. And then all I did was I heated this end up a touch so that I could put a tight radius bend on it and sand it smooth. And you can see right here when you look at the ram right where it runs, because this press has thousands and thousands of cycles done on it. It's extremely quick and handy because it's got such a nice little short handle, and it's good enough for what we need to do when we're cleaning up dirty stuff. I mean, this is my good press, and the last thing I want to do is throw a bunch of range grit and other garbage into that press. So I use this $30 press instead of that $200 press. Let's cover the shell holders that I use a second. So you can see right here, this is the full Lee kit. I use the Lee shell holders on this particular press because they're not made quite as high a tolerance as the Hornady ones are. There's a little more slop in them, so the cases have less issues getting ejected out. The Hornady ones tend to hang up right here, or here. They tend to hang up right there, which is kind of annoying because you just want it to eject. You don't want it to hang up. As far as spent primer management goes, I just drilled a couple of holes into the base plate that this press is mounted to. And then when I'm done, I just lift the press up and dump the primers out in the trash, or I can suck them out with my little shop vac that I keep in the shop here. Lastly, let's touch on the decapping dies that I use. This is your standard Lee decapping die, and I found that those work fine. The biggest issues with them are the decapping pins tend to wear out, especially if you're doing a lot of military brass. These are both Mighty Armory dies, both excellent dies. They're not that expensive, but the real bonus with these is that these decapping pins are hardened steel. This is a regular one, and then this is a Lapua size capping pin that I use for some of the Peterson brass that I run. Another good decapping die worth looking into is made by a company called FW Arms. Excellent decapping pin. Don't be afraid to go buy one from them, and honestly not that expensive, especially when it can save you a lot of hassle. I know some people will say $40 to $45 for a decapping die. That's crazy. Well, when you start running through a ton and tons and tons of mill brass, any time that can be saved, and aggravation that can be saved is worth spending a few bucks on, in my opinion. So overall, this is a great little press. I mean, I would not actually load any bullets on this press, but it works great for decapping. I've used it for doing bullet pulling, things like that, things of that nature, where you don't need any high levels of precision. This is a great press for it because it's very quick and is open front, so that you can do your work quickly and efficiently, which, I mean, let's face it, that's half the battle. If you got any questions, please ask. Thanks. Bye.